For whatever reason, this has been a very, very cold night. Keep waking up, feeling the cold coming up through the ground, so I'm once again very happy that I had Jen send that air mattress. Hopefully it arrives. Well, I think the ground temperature is finally caught up with me here, because that was the coldest night I think I've spent in this entire section, if not the entire trail. I've been waiting impatiently for the sun to come up. I think part of the problem is my pad is just worn down to the point where even doubled up, it probably has less insulation than it did when it was new. But hey, I survived. I've only got a week and change left, and there should be an air mattress waiting for me down in town. Yesterday was really, really pleasant hiking. Loved the trails through the trees and everything. And I spent the entire day just unable to get my mind off of town food, unfortunately. I kept having to cut stuff out because it's like, yeah, I'm talking about it again. Yeah, And same here. It's just hard to get into Hikers End when your stomach's rumbling. Good news is I only have about 7 miles in. Most of that is road, so I can hopefully knock that out in just a couple of hours. I actually, during the storm, started listening to Hyperion, which is a book series that I have listened to multiple times, and one of the better sci-fi books ever, if you ask me, just because I needed something reliable to keep my mind busy and keep me moving through all the snow and everything. I have unfortunately fallen onto that crutch a lot this season. I re-listened to Abercrombie, Red Rising, and now I'm doing the Hyperion Cantos when I have a huge backlog of all the other things I want to read. The problem just gets sometimes, it's less than ideal reading conditions. You know, I'm going along and I'm listening, but if the book is dragging and meanwhile I'm just feeling cold, tired, thirsty, it makes me grumpy, basically. I will often have multiple books going. I'll switch around, but sometimes it's just hard to make progress on any of them, and that's why I redid Hyperion. Odd place for a water cache. And I appreciate the gesture, but I hate those little bottles. They just generate so much trash for so little water. And road walk time. I have the last stale bar or two, but I wasn't able to force it down this morning. Not with real food up ahead. Turned out some of the stuff I bought in Winston was a little on the stale side, which happens sometimes when you get into those little towns. So I have a Rice Krispie treat that I could break my teeth on.
Due to various equipment needs, I had Jen send me a box with some gear and food to Silver City. Unfortunately, since I arrived on a Sunday, that meant I had to wait around for the post office to open Monday morning. Normally, of course, this would have me making a beeline for a local hotel. However, I had been contacted by some local trail angels who had very sweetly offered to host me in their home. They fed me again, let me have a nice warm bath, and finally get warmed up after a cold couple of days, and gave me a warm place to sleep.
And we have sunshine, a relatively easy road walk out of town, and at least a few days without more snow or rain. And my box from Jen has arrived. And I am back, I am fed, and I am oh so very much happier right now. Thanks to some awesome trail angels, I got picked up right when I got into town, fed, I had a warm place to sleep, I was able to resupply probably more than I need for this section. So much cheese and food. And I've got gear swapped. New long johns and shorts after I shredded my last pairs on the locust bushes in the Black Range. I got rid of one of my water bottles, one of the 1.5 bottles, in favor of an air mattress. So my night should be much more pleasant without cold coming up from below. And I am currently 157.5 miles from the border. I do about half of that to get to Lordsburg. I'll do a quick resupply and hopefully be finishing in a week and change if things go well. Everything I have read or been told by friends who did this trail before said these last 150 some miles should be really cruisy compared with what I was doing before. I was checking water sources ahead, and there were almost too many to even bother with. No more of these 20 some mile carries, at least for a while. And at least for the moment, the weather is getting much nicer. High 50s during the day and mid 30s at night. I just double checked and there is no precipitation in the forecast for the entire week. It would be somewhat appropriate if the last big storm, I managed to time it so I was up on those 9K peaks. This stop really was huge for me. When I arrived into town, I was basically starving, frozen, and feeling rather isolated. This one overnight has me in a much happier frame of mind. And 150 miles is officially within the point where it feels like this is doable and almost over. I might even start getting sad and nostalgic about it, given another week. Well, we'll see. I am half convinced that with my luck, something's going to go wrong in the easy section here, but we shall see. As far as what's on the menu for today, 12.5 mile road walk to get back onto the dirt. And I even have, I think, multiple water sources at the end of the day. Kind of feel like the advantage of the red line out here is the road walks are spread out. So they're kind of just easy mode break versus dragging on too much. Kind of like the Florida Trail. To be honest, part of me regrets pulling the trigger on new shorts and the new long johns. I really didn't think they were going to make it as far as Silver City with how bad the thorn forests were. And I had to make the call, a week plus out for Jen to send them. I might have tried to just finish in my rags. I may switch back into the rags just to save the new stuff for the next adventure. I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to need the air mattress. With the back-to-back storms, the ground temperature had dropped, which was why I was feeling the cold come up through my foam mattress. But you can see how compressed that thing is. It was brand new when I left for the Mississippi. They just don't last that long, and I have to replace them every, 5-6 months at least. Probably would be happier if I did it every 3. That just feels so wasteful. Sometimes it's less the cost and more just not wanting to generate so much waste. Jen's pads last longer, but hers are these horrible thin things that I couldn't even sleep on. Ironically, she says she can't sleep on the egg crate like I have. The bumps just disturb her at a fundamental level. Road walking across New Mexico. The wonderful trail angel loaded me up with breakfast burritos this morning, and I'm carrying way too much water, so I think I'm going to try and finish it off here. For the record, 3 breakfast burritos and 5 cups of coffee was enough to make me stuffed. So technically I could road walk this bit and be done within a week, but I'm going to enjoy the time I have left out here. Feels like the season has dialed back a notch after the last basically 2 weeks feeling like I was hiking in winter. I seriously need to prioritize some sort of earbuds with noise cancellation. That's the only problem with these road walks. I'm pretty sure this is actually my last major road walk. I've got another 5 miles to go. I really don't mind it other than the traffic noise. with all the traffic noise around Orange County and the campgrounds, I think I'm just extra sensitive to it. And I can't get lost in my audiobook because it blows out my ears every time a truck comes by. Man, when did I get so old? I just said no to a cold beer. It's only 1 o'clock, and that's not going to help me make the miles I want to make. And yeehaw. Fast walking, but I'm so tired of traffic noise right now. It's totally messing with my chill. Oh ho ho, that is a beautiful sight. I ended up at Walmart last night, so I decided to splurge and I bought a new Sawyer. Mine was just slow. It was still functional and I could have finished, but it's so nice having a new one. Especially since a couple of times I had to filter like 6-7 liters at once and I was freezing by the time I finished all that. This is just lovely water. Really cool rocks back here. Just ran into a Jeep with a couple hunters back here who were just, I always love when people ask what I'm doing, and you can see it's just so far beyond the range of anything they've considered doable. I am pretty much ready to set up camp when I find a reasonable place here. I didn't want to camp in that little canyon that they were trying to restore. I was somewhat tempted to push on and make 20 plus miles, but my pack's heavy. First day, it'll be easier in the morning. This is incredibly warmer than that night 2 days ago. Even last night. Feels like I'm back in summer, fall. 19 and a half miles, which isn't too bad for out of town, a little late. And it is just so pleasant out here. I'm probably going to set up the air mattress just because I brought it, but it's warm enough where, I'm not even sure I'm going to have to do freeze precaution tonight. So however many more nights I have here, it's going to be nice to actually be able to enjoy the camping part of it. Home sweet home.